You might have to turn your TV down a little bit more.
Okay, it's down a little bit.
Alright, you should be live.
Okay, cool. Are we all set?
Oh boy.
Can I start the run?
Yeah, you're good. You're good whenever.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. So what's up, everyone? This is Crystal Glitchless with a new route. So before I actually start the run, I'm going to do the RNG manipulation we used to get the Master Ball to catch Entei. So that's not part of the timed run, but I just need to perform this so that I can get the right ID. So it doesn't make much sense without it. So first thing is you always have to clear your save data before you do this. And then you just hard reset. And you've got to do a few buffer inputs. It's not too difficult. And then there's one timed input. So the timed input is right here. And hit this 4-frame window, then I'll have the ID and we'll be all set to go. Might have been early. Yeah, that was probably early. Hopefully this doesn't take more than a couple tries. They picked the boy. Doesn't matter. Yeah, don't start the timer yet, because I just have to use this to verify I got the right ID.
Oh, disgusting. Why would you? No.
If I do this in the actual run, then I deserve to get, like, 10th try Entei.
Alright, well that was Crystal. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and kicking Exarion off.
See, I'm looking for ID 27623. If I don't get that, I'll just try the minute again. It takes just like a minute. It might be like the 17 one. Yeah, I got that one early, so... Yeah, what actually happened is I got it right, but then I picked the boy and I must have guarantee.
Shame. Picking the correct gender is crucial to Pokemon speedruns.
I did it early again. We picked the girl, so we're gonna get it. I think that was early again. Yeah, this Crystal Run has not changed as much as other gens because of RNG manipulation, which is kind of nice. But there are still a few things you have to do that can be a pain sometimes. No.
Man, rip
Time
that
for
10
sure.
minutes you're supposed to save. Yeah, this time for sure.
That should be good. Should be good.
Third time's a charm.
Of course.
You just wanted to show the people that you're human. It's okay, I understand.
I blame the audio. Having my TV down. I don't use an audio key though. Probably should use like the game audio.
Oh, do you have a timer going?
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so now that we've manipulated the lottery ID, that is going to be good for as many resets as we want to do. Of course, we'll just do one here. So yeah, when I get new game here, then you guys can start the timer. And we'll be all set.
You want to just give etiquette like a 3 count or something?
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, I'm good whenever.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go. Pick the girl.
Yay! Hi, my name is Exarion, and this is Exarion running the game.
Sure. Okay, so Crystal has gone through a lot of changes since last year. Mostly because of the RNG manip. Like I said, it's not as dramatic as Gen 1 where we're manipping like so many things in the game. There's really one main thing that we're manipping, and that is we are catching Entei to use as our main Pokemon instead of Totodile. We'll still use Totodile for the first hour or so, because we can't just start with Entei. But by getting the Master Ball from the Lottery and Goldenrod, and then just using knowledge about the mechanics of the roaming legendary dogs, we can usually get Entei pretty quickly, and he is several minutes faster for the remaining 2.5 hours of the game. Sadly, we don't really have RNG manipulation to catch Entei himself. Manip in Gen 2 is very finicky, we haven't figured everything out. But he's still a better choice than Totodile if you want to compete for a good Gen 2 time, and I think he's more fun. Exarion might disagree, it's just the more fun route to do. And it's a good separation between Gold and Crystal. Gold still uses Totodile because in order to get Entei you have to do an optional rival fight, and in Crystal, we just use Totodile for a little bit.
I only disagree because every single Entei I ever... some of the most garbage Enteis.
Yeah, we don't manip Entei stats. Like, we've tried manipulations for its location, and they kinda work. We're not really sure how likely they are to succeed, or how difficult they are, but we cannot manip stats no matter how much we've tried, so if you get, like, the worst attack, it can be kind of a pain, but Entei's still got a pretty big level advantage, so he can handle it. We'll be fine with whatever we get. So saving here, because we still do need a decent Totodile. We don't need as good of a Totodile as we used to get. But if we get like a female Totodile, that's not gonna do. So, decent chance we get this first try, but in case we get something really bad, we can just reset. Let's see. That will not do. That is almost a girl.
Does that have 11 attack? Oh my god.
Yeah, so 11 attack is 0 to 4 DD, unless if it's male. Unless if I pulled a gunner and didn't notice that it was female. Then that's 2 to 4 DD. Attack is not that important. You can honestly run with 11 attack, but it's just going to be better, more efficient to do the reset and get something stronger. Like that had 9 special attack as well. It's going to be a nightmare. Better HP. Oh my god. Alright, well, we're running 11 attack.
No! Don't be a fool!
Let's do it. I know how to do this. I did it like once.
No! What are you doing?
Everything else is as high as it can be, and attack is 3 DV. Let's do it.
No.
See, this is where we save time to Entei, is we can actually run this. We'd be resetting there for like 10 minutes if we had to toe it down. Alright, well we're gonna kill some. Get some experience here. Just for the early game, the first couple splits, we'll need some help.
Oh dear.
I mean, this is better than having like 0 speed and dying to Rival 2, which is what happened in my practice run. It's just weird because we never run 11 attack, because you know right away that it's bad, whereas with speed you don't know until later.
Oh,
anyway, the early game, just going through the grass patches here, and beating the first few generators is pretty similar to the Totodile route. There are a few changes in shopping. The biggest change is we don't have to catch Centric for Cut, or Poliwag for Whirlpool and Waterfall, because we can just use Totodile as our main HM slave, since he doesn't need to have a good moveset for battles.
When you get to a spot where you're just mashing and you don't have to do anything else, is it possible to turn down your game audio just a tiny bit?
Yes, you can do that now. Okay, let me know if that's better.
I'm sure chat will let us know.
Chat always does.
Sure does.
God, I forgot to turn frame. Or I forgot to kill the turn frame. Yeah, I'm running 3DD attack. It's 3DD attack, but it's 14 to 15 special, which is really nice for this route.
Also, maybe a little bit more on your TV again. Your TV's strong.
What the hell?
It wants its voice heard, man.
Alright. So yeah, when I get to Mount Silver, which is the right before Red, at the very end of the run, I'm just gonna mute myself so Keith Brown will entertain you, because I need to hear my character bonking in Mount Silver because it's dark. I mean, maybe it'll be more entertaining to just get lost. You get lost. It's bad.
Oh yeah, getting lost in Mount Silver is the worst thing. I think I remember there was one stream of swaps that I watched where he got lost and he couldn't really figure out where he was, and he lost his PB because he was lost for about a minute.
I had quite a few PBs when I was new to Crystal. I mean, I lost. I think one of them I just reset. I was like, I was gonna PB by 5 minutes and then just spent 10 minutes in the first room.
The only run that will have face cam throughout this whole marathon is the blindfolded run.
Yeah, early encounters are quite a pain in Gen 2 because they are 13.5 seconds compared to 10 to 11 seconds in Gen 1 or Gen 3. Other than the 2 that we killed for experience, we don't really need these. For a marathon, it's not a big deal, but competitive Gen 2 speedrunning is not the most fun thing because it's just the encounters and things like spinners, which are coming up, will determine your time. And it's actually pretty unlikely to make it past Whitney without dying somewhere. Which is why we'll be saving 4 or 5 times. And then once we get Entei, there are a couple fights where I'll save just because dying is really costly, but generally, You generally don't die unless you get crazy unlucky. So the RNG in this run is very front-ended. Can't die to this fight because I got level 6. After I check stats here, I can go on more about what makes Entei faster, and of course you'll see a lot of that during the run, but some of the differences are subtle, and the reason that we didn't use Entei until this year, the main reason is we didn't have manipulation, but I think we would have given it a try without manipulation, as tedious as that would be without the Master Ball, if we knew what we did now about some of its time saves. 14 attack at 7. Aw, yeah. You see that it turned to nighttime here. Traditionally in Crystal, you'd set the clock to like 5:50, 5:51 because you want it to be daytime. So you can catch a Sentret, it only appears during the day, and then turn to night before you hit Route 30 and you can catch a Poliwag, which only appears at night. We still do that, even though we don't need either a Sentret or a Poliwag, because we actually don't want to encounter a Poliwag right away. So we don't want to set it to like 6 PM, because Poliwags can outspeed, and they do outspeed when you're level 5. Oops, hey, it is.
I really hope you don't get a Poliwag, because I want to see Dratini strats.
I probably... well, I have experience. Problem with not catching Poliwag is, then you can die to Rival 2 because you can't switch out, but you can also just get Breakout, so it's a close call. But yeah, we still set the time to 5:50, or 5:51 or 2, because we want to give ourselves a chance at Poliwag. Sometimes it is optimal to catch it. So it's daytime while for level 5, Poliwags are faster, and then it's nighttime once we've beaten Rival and leveled up and we have Pokeballs. Yeah, Keys came up with a strat of getting Dratini a few months ago, because Dratini learns Waterfall, but not Whirlpool. In the past, we needed a slave that learned both, because Totodile, we needed all 4 moves available for battling. And now that we can just throw Whirlpool onto Totodile, we can give Dratini Waterfall. So yeah, path from here to Falconer is pretty straightforward. Just hope for as few encounters as possible and might catch a Poliwag. But yeah, onto the good stuff. Why the route uses Entei now. Some of it is pretty intuitive. You catch Entei at level 40. At the time, your Croconaw is level 21 or 22, so it's a huge level advantage, and that saves turns early in the run, and then you lose a few turns later in the run because fire typing isn't quite as good for Kanto. But overall, you save about a dozen turns, and each turn is like 5 to 6 seconds, so that's more than a minute saved in battle. You also don't have to go out of the way to get moves like Ice Punch and Headbutt and Return. Entei pretty much... Entei's moveset isn't great, it's actually pretty rough in places, but because of its level advantage, it's good enough and it doesn't have to go out of the way to get moves. There's the option if you have like a good hidden power on Entei to go get that, but it's such a slow detour that even at the perfect hidden power isn't worth getting. Also, just 3-hit the Pidgey. I forgot that happens with that attack. But then the more subtle time saves that I didn't account for until earlier this year when Underscore Boy, another really good Crystal runner, did some routing, is that because Entei comes at a higher level and has the slow experience curve, it levels up significantly less often than Totodile. So you start at level 40, which is 18 levels higher, but you end the run at the same level that Totodile does. So that's 18 fewer level ups. Each level up is a little less than 3 seconds, so that's about 50 seconds saved. And you skip the cutscene for evolving into Feraligatr, since Entei doesn't evolve and never reach level 30 with Croconaw. So just from those two, that's more than a minute. And then Entei has a shorter cry than Feraligatr, and that saves like another 30 seconds. So just from those little things that you wouldn't notice, you're saving a minute and a half on top of the minute and a half to 2 minutes that you save from battling stuff. And the only con with Entei really is that you have to take this fairly significant detour to get the Master Ball, and then to hunt for it on Route 37. And that can take 10 minutes if you get really unlucky. Hopefully it'll get more consistent with RNG manipulation findings in the future, but for now it's gonna be just gonna hope we get it within like the first few tries, and I'll explain more of that later when we get there. Yeah, I see the discussion in chat about Raikou. We use Raikou in Gen 4, of course, and it's like, it's really obvious why Raikou is better, because he gets these like good electric moves like Thunders and Amazing Happiness. And like it makes the final fight significantly easier. Like I don't even know how you do the final fight with Totodile. I mean, you use Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil's faster than Totodile in Gen 4, but even that makes the final fight so difficult. And Raikou has much easier time.
Typhlosion red fight is just wall. Feraligatr red fight's miserable.
Yeah, in this game it's not as straightforward. And Raikou is he's not nearly as good. And he can get by if he has a good hidden power. If he doesn't have a good hidden power, he gets walled really hard by Jets. But he's basically just riding Spark for 20 levels. You can't get Thunderbolt quickly. Can't get Thunder quickly. You don't get Crunch until level 61, which is in time for like 2 or 3 battles in Kanto. And it has a pitiful attack stat compared to Entei, so like Iron Tail, Quick Attack, Strength don't do nearly as much damage. So I think if you get Raikou really quickly, he's like a minute slower than Totodile, and it would be like even if you got a good hidden power. And if you get Entei quickly, it's like 2.5 minutes faster than Totodile. Okay, so same situation I had in practice run where I don't need to heal for Falconer. And I do have a save. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and heal though. This time I don't have good attack. I haven't seen what my speed is exactly, but basically as long as the speed is 5 dB and I'm faster than Rival 2, then I won't run into any problems. And then my speed's at least 7. I guess this is a good time to talk about an alternate route that I considered for Entei. You see that Totodile is just raging through this gym, even with its pitiful attack.
Yeah.
DV, it does It does just fine. And this gym is really the reason that Totodile is the preferred starter. It does pretty well for the rest of the run. I mean, Chikorita struggles. You know, Chikorita's amazing, but it's not built for speed. But Cyndaquil does pretty well after the Faulkner split, but it struggles really hard on the Faulkner split with basically having to tackle 40 times, and anytime you miss, it's really costly because Cyndaquil has paper defenses. And you have to fight an extra trainer in Sprout Tower, which is a pretty significant detour. It's one of the worst splits in Pokemon speedrunning. And thankfully, because Cyndaquil isn't faster overall, we don't have to deal with it. But I was thinking, when we were routing Entei at first, and there was one fight, the third rival fight in Burn Tower, that we were struggling really hard with. The Cyndaquil has a much faster fight, although it's risky, so I was thinking, is it worth it to run Cyndaquil? And I was really hoping, because Firestarter's best starts. And it didn't pan out, because you end up at a lower level. Normally the Cyndaquil route fights and a couple extra trainers, and then you can one-hit rivals Magnemite with Ember. But you're at like level 21 and it doesn't die, and then you're cursed by the Haunter, and so you just lose. So it was so close to working out, but I think the run is better off with just Totodile, because even though the early game is rough, it's a lot better than with Cyndaquil. So we didn't get a Poliwag. Rival 2 is going to be a little bit riskier, but it's fine. Just get a Dratini later.
I'm so happy we get to show off Dratini. See, there's the smallest of chances that Dratini is the reason we beat Lance.
Oh, fun thing about that, you know how if you get one of the questions wrong, it doesn't have extreme speed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that in my practice run.
No!
But I got the Dragonite range, because I got the Rare Candy OP. So it just has, what does it have? It has like Leer instead. It's like,
yeah.
Way to rub it in. Was that 3 or 4 encounters? I think we had kind of bad encounter luck.
They're attracted to how weak your Totodile is. They smell blood in the water.
It's very nice to have this repel for Union Cave that does not exist in the inferior speed game Gold. Do have to deal with the spinner here, but it's not a big deal if we hit him.
Don't say it's inferior, it's the game that I tell people to do as their first.
Okay, that was a really optimal spinner pass, everybody take notes.
What is that? That was disgusting.
That happens to me so many times where like I go when he's facing the direction he's facing me, and then he turns, and then I hesitate. Whatever.
Yeah, so there's actually an optimal way to pass spinners, because certain directionals are paired with each other and have a higher likelihood of happening.
Yeah, down is paired with right, up is paired with left.
So since Russell was looking to the left and Exarion was trying to pass him from above, that was not optimal, but, you know, whatever.
I mean, I tried to pass him when he was facing up. That one is always tricky, because I don't like to pause, because he's not that bad of a spinner, so I kind of try to rush it and then get punished.
Yeah, like this fight that's going on right now is actually an optional fight, but we use it so we can get extra experience, so we can evolve into Croconaw before Rival 2. We would skip this fight if we hit Russell. They give very similar experience and money payouts, so The only real difference is Russell has 3 pokes and it's 3 Geodudes, so the fight's what, like 5 turns longer or something?
Yeah. Alright, you guys ready for world record stats?
No!
World record did this and hit the spinner.
No! Is record really that bad?
No, it's just a great strat. RTA best timing.
He was stuck! You were blessed with a stuck spinner and you saved. I'm so mad.
I couldn't tell he was stuck. So that guy, his name's Anthony. He's a spinner. If he hits you, you just lose. If you had caught a Poliwag or the old route, you could catch a Bellsprout for Clef and have a chance of beating the Geodude with that, but without that, you just lose. You have Rage, it has Rock Throw, he also has Machop that you don't 2-hit, and has Low Kick. So, that's why we save. Don't want to go all the way back to Violet.
Ugh. It's not fair.
So the shopping trip that we do here is very similar to the old Totodile route, but we're able to buy 2 fewer balls because we are going to be skipping Headbutt. Since Totodile doesn't need to do Kimono Curls. And hopefully I don't get super unlucky on this fight, because I don't want to heal off 8 HP, 7 HP. Since I get level 13, I should be fine against a critical, and if I miss the range because I have bad attack, I can just heal. Yeah, I call this guy Rocket Short Sky. Lost so many good runs to the last turn critical from Rattata. Oof, bad start. But we'll still be fine as long as he doesn't crit twice. Wonder if I should heal here if I get... What's my speed? Oh, I have bad speed. Okay, that's actually good because now he's definitely gonna go first. And boost my rage. Okay. I'm gonna have to heal here because if he crits, I lose like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but you saved before Anthony, it's okay.
That's true, I did. And I got critical, but it was on the turn. The extra turn that I needed.
This fight was disgusting.
Yeah, you need
If
really...
only you had more than 3 DV attack.
Yeah. Hopefully healing items are fine. I'm gonna get this super potion. But the rest of the well should be comfortable enough with my perfect special. It's too bad my practice run, I used rage strats here, and I got, 2 hit the Ekans. I love rage strats in this fight. But you don't use rage strats if your special is good enough to 2-hit the Zubat, and 3-hit the Ekans. Water gun. Got really bad rolls there, but no, Supersonic is good. The section is all about just keeping your Bitterberry. You get 1 Bitterberry before Violet, and there's like 7 things that can confuse you, and in Gold there's like 10 things. Alright, good fight. So, you know, if the first thing confuses you and you don't have your Bitter, then you've got a bunch of chances to hit yourself, and as we hopefully won't see, that getting confused is really slow because you've got the animation above your head, and going in the menu to heal is really slow.
Remember when we looked into Bitterberry Skip?
Yeah.
That was good.
Well, Bitterberry skips still could be a thing if we find manipulation for like early encounters, and what did I think? Yeah, because the Bitterberry is extra text boxes, so then you like would have to hit the text box windows to carry the minute through the next patch of grass. think that was before we knew that text boxes could be buffered, so you probably just get the bitter berry and get the text boxes. Okay, so 21 health. I'm gonna just go in to the next fight without healing. If he misses turn 1, then we're completely safe. If not, then I've got to decide whether I want to risk a critical. I think I'm gonna have to heal. Just too much time loss if I don't. So yeah, just miss, please. Sweet. And moves like Poison Gas, Poison Powder, Stun Spore, like they have bad accuracy to begin with, but when they're used by an enemy, so a wild Pokemon or a trainer, they're nerfed even more. So the multiplier is 0.75, so in addition to being 55%, only 55% to hit, there's a 75% chance that it just fails because it was used by an opponent. So it's less than 50% that Poison Gas hit there. And in Gen 1, that existed for stat-lowering moves only. In Gen 2, it's for stat-lowering moves and status moves. So we still have our Bitter Berry. So this pesky Ledybud that actually might not die in 2 hits. Hopefully. Not troll us with Supersonic. So in gold, we take the left path because we've got more experience. We don't need any more to reach level 18 and evolve to Croconaw Arrival 2. But in Crystal, if we fight the guy on the left, we're just barely going to be short. The guy on the left has a Paris. This guy has Caterpie and a Weedle. Gives like 65 more experience. The split has actually done really well, other than the 3 encounters. Nice. So there we see it again, String Shot, a move that almost always hits, missing. Used by opposing trainer. Well, I'm just gonna heal this now. It's gonna be an extra menu, but I don't want to take the poison damage to make this all. So we're gonna couple a save for Bugsy here with not hitting this spinner. Come on. So if we die to Bugsy, we can go back to the save, and if we hit the spinner, we can reset. It's kind of sad because there's a strat where if you hit this guy, then the Rage PP that you used to beat him is useful on Rival 3, that tough fight that I was talking about before. If your PP is low enough on any move, if it gets to be 5 or less, that'll limit its sponsor into using Spite. So you just use Rage, it has no effect, and he's like, oh, I've got to reduce Rage's PP to 0. It has no effect. And then even after it's 0, he'll keep spamming Spite, and you need to set up like 8 turns on that fight, so it's way better than just getting Lick, having that paralysis chance. Oh, that's a bad tackle miss. Okay, I might die here. this fight is just kind of whatever happens. You try to route this fight, and then you get all sorts of results. Like, we tried to get an X attack for this fight in the cave, and it looked promising, but then there's like so many things that can make that not work. Okay, so we need Scyther to be nice. We don't have a Slave. We don't have good HP per minute. If he just uses Quick Attack, we'll be fine. I actually don't think this attack is good enough to 2-hit Scyther. So, yeah. Probably dead. Maybe it
Who'd
is.
have thunk?
Crit?
Dear.
Okay, we got it. Never mind.
How? How?
Yeah, my charts for damage ranges do not include lower than 5 DB attack.
I wonder why.
Because that... I should, dude. This is way better than I remember it. X attack strats for marathons. Yeah, favorite guy. I should have read that. Okay. No deaths so far, no resets except for resetting to get this fantastic totem out. That has been pulling through, except for that Rattata range. After we beat Rival 2 and Whitney, start to see a lot more changes in the route as we transition into using Entei. Still got a lot of healing items, which is nice. Okay, so since we didn't use Rage PP on that spinner Benny, we can just get rid of Rage, save the inputs. And Rival 2 is potentially the hardest fight in the game. With these stats, I think Whitney is harder. Although, it's close when you don't have a Poliwag. If I get critical by the Bayleaf, I'm pretty much dead. Something like 75% to win this fight. Double A strats. Will we be seeing triple A strats from Paper Guy tonight? I'll see. Okay, nice. Kept our Paralyzed Cure Berry, which is very useful for a couple of fights coming up. And probably dead. Okay, we're not gonna... Yeah, we need to, like, critical. Okay, well, good. What are you doing, Bayleaf? Growl and Reflect and Fury Cutter miss.
You got this.
I don't know that Scratch kills. I would have scratched if I had better attack, but I just don't know, man. Okay, so we somehow got through that.
How are you not dead?
No.
I hate this.
Yeah, so Bayleaf's AI, it's more favorable than you think, but Growl is pretty rare. It's, generally 32% to get Razor Leaf, Reflect, and Poison Powder, and then 3% to get Growl. So we're pretty lucky to get it there when... And I probably wasn't gonna kill anyway with Fury Cutter. But I don't know, 3D attack is still kind of foreign to me. But then yeah, if you have a slave, and like you send out your slave, and it dies, and then Croconaw comes back in, and the first turn that Croconaw is in, then Growl is actually 2 out of 3. I'm gonna go ahead and Super Potion, because I've got extra healing items. Yeah, we're through Rival 2, it's not that bad. So we repel after a few steps here, because Gen 2 is a neat mechanic where you have encounter immunity on route transitions for generally the first 4 steps, and so we use that to our advantage here, so that we can get through the forest and the route after it on only 2 repels, which saves some money and a menu. We didn't do that with a Totodile route because we needed to take a detour here to get Headbutt. As I mentioned before, we can skip that because Entei does the Motor Girls instead of Totodile. So normally it would be Centret, Bellsprout, or Oddish that you teach Cut. Or I should say with the Totodile route, it would be. You never catch a Cut Slave with this route. You sometimes catch a Poliwag. So yeah, that guy at the bottom, he gives you a Headbutt. We're just gonna go right past him. Saves 35 to 40 seconds. We do have to take down the Snubbull in Whitney's gym without Headbutt, which could be an extra turn, and we don't have a chance to flinch it. And that Snubbull can be very annoying, so it's like 8 seconds worth of time loss on that fight, but that's really it. Unless you hit a spinner, you're not losing time to not having Headbutt. Okay, no encounter. We do have to YOLO those 2 tiles, because it doesn't make it that far. But pretty unlikely to get punished. Nice movement.
That made me sad.
Hey, that's like the first movement error all around. Game has such difficulty. Actually can be kind of challenging with the bike. So we go through Spinner Hell like normal, and because Totodile isn't going to be used for much longer, it's a little bit worse to hit a spinner. The experience isn't that useful. But it's just time loss. The spinners here can't kill us like Anthony earlier. And cool. So a little bit risky there. With the first spinner, you saw he was facing down, and the corresponding direction there is right. So like he could have hit me, and it would have lost me almost a minute. But I've got to pass him twice more after this, so I'm not gonna worry about it on first pass.
These spinner passes.
They were both good.
My heart.
Optimal.
The second one was good.
The first one was good too.
It broke my heart.
Oh god, I hate this.
Oh yeah, here's another change that some older Crystal runners or Crystal viewers might notice is we're skipping Arnie. Like even before we switched to the Entei route, we started skipping Arnie because Arnie ended up only being under like 15 DV.
Yeah, the nice thing about skipping Arnie is that you go through National Park and you hit this PC, which you can talk to from the side because that totally makes sense. And this is where we deposit the egg that would otherwise give us like a 18-second cutscene hatching. Okay, well, I don't know if that first pass was outcome, but I wanted to make sure my timing was right. If we had hit the top guy, we could have used spite strats on Rival 3, which are fun. But we got good special for Rival 3, so I'm not more worried about just getting owned by the Miltank here. Or the Clefairy, as they say, it's never the Miltank.
It's never the Miltank.
So yeah, I mentioned having 14 to 15 DV special. It's really good earlier, and this Snubbull is one of the main reasons. Has a much higher chance to 3-hit it with Water Gun than if you had 13 or less. Looks like we're gonna get it, as long as we don't low roll.
Charm, 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 charm.
Nice. So 52 health, you never need to heal this, but I of course will save because I can just get Metronome Thunder, Metronome Explosion, Metronome, yada yada yada. Nice, I don't know why my cursor was higher, so normally heal there. But yeah, the reason that Whitney I consider it to be a harder fight than Rival 2, as long as your stats are good for Rival 2, is that you don't really have control. Metronome can just destroy you. If you get Stomp flinched, there's just nothing you can do. You can't beat the Miltank one-on-one, especially now. Without Headbutt. If you miss Fury Cutter, you're just toast.
It's
You
weird
just
to
kinda-
miss roll out a ton.
Yeah. You just kinda press the A button and hope for the best. And this is, oh dear. Okay, well, starting over. Good thing we, extra healing items. Oh, that is very bad.
What has happened? Just
Okay, I'm actually
reset,
just gonna,
man.
I'm just gonna go for this.
No.
Leer is much worse than you think. You think, oh, it's just Leer. It's really bad. Like, and I just keep going. Okay, I'm 20. This is so bad. I'm gonna die. I need to use Mimic.
Oh my god, what's this?
Unreal. Well, should have just reset. Wow. Wow. This is what I mean. Like, what am I supposed to do? That feel when you lose to tackle. Metronome is like 1 in 3, by the way. It's not supposed to spam Metronome. Once it uses Mimic, then I'll just use Fury Cutter back. But nope. There's other plans today.
I would take a Thunderbolt over a Leer.
But yeah, switching there is just so slow. Like, the Kenya can just not die. Oh my god, the Troll Metronome.
What is that?
Use another move.
Oh my goodness. What is this fight? Man, if only this were rage strats.
Okay, now we are in the optimal position where we can tank 2 stomps. Unfortunately, it's still not even that likely because Stomp always flinches. Fury Cutter always misses. And then... Okay, just a step to hit. And how much damage? That doesn't die. Okay, just don't miss. Okay, easy. Only 1 death. Probably will be the only death of the run. At least it was entertaining. This is better. This is about 2.5 minutes better than my practice Whitney. I got Stomp Flinch, and then well, I hit a spinner. I died to Rival 2, and I died to Whitney with Stomp Flinch. Yeah, this is the split that like decides your run, honestly. It can be kind of demoralizing because it's not. I mean, the movement can be sometimes, you know, if your movement is suboptimal, you can get punished for it, but more often it's just you play perfectly and you hit like a spinner and you die. It's just about surviving, really. Okay. So now the big changes start. With Totodile, we would normally go fight the 2 underground trainers now, because you have to fight them later if you don't know, and the experience is much more valuable now for Totodile, but since Totodile has 1 fight left, 2 if we get unlucky and hit a spinner, we can just delay that until later, and it saves about 15 seconds in movement. And then we'll do an abbreviated shopping trip here. Because the only fight where Ice Punch is useful is Rival 3, but I figured out a better way to do that fight, which I'll go into more when I get there. So yeah, just go to 2F to buy some stuff. And then here... Really wish we could afford more X accuracies. Hopefully you guys won't see why that is. But yeah, pretty efficient shopping trip. And now we're off to get Entei, pretty much. Now here's the really scary part, because if for some reason I don't get the Master Ball here, and I don't know why, it's never failed for me when I've set it up properly, then I have to load it. I have to switch to emulator.
Boo!
But we got it. Oof. So no GDQ strats.
Hey man, I didn't switch to emulator, okay? I just switched games.
Yeah.
The difference.
Okay, and now we get the radio card here, even though it's faster to get it later. Because we're going to use that to play the Pokemon March. Lovely little tune. And that will double the encounter rate on the route where we're trying to find Entei. So if he is on the route, he'll show up much faster. If he's not on the route, that's where we can start losing a lot of time. Hopefully we can just do the radio card later once we find RNG manipulation for Entei. But for now, it's just a couple seconds detour. And we already got Kenya there. Yeah. No. Okay, that's fine. Bad. Yeah, Kenya is the Pokemon whose ID matches the lottery, not my own trainer ID, but when I miniped my trainer ID at the start, that also went into the lottery. What is this movement? Oh my god. Okay, well...
What is happening?
We didn't hit a trainer. We didn't hit a trainer, so we did better than... Yeah. Yeah, that movement is... you gotta be careful.
That hurt my feelings a little bit.
And got that movement. Okay. This spinner is really annoying if we hit him. I don't like that pass. I'm actually gonna not pass here. It's very fun. Okay, that's much better. When a spinner is facing a certain direction for a long time, even if the direction that you're trying to pass him on is not one of the paired directions, he's really likely to spin when he's been facing a direction for, you know, like 2/3 of a second. If he's facing a direction for more than a second, then that means he's stuck for 8.5 seconds and it's just a free pass, but he wasn't quite doing it there. Okay, so now a couple of saves. The awkward part of the run. Since there's a small chance we die to rival here, and it's very punishing if we do save before the fight. Okay, so this is the fight that had me walled for a while trying to route Entei. And one of the reasons Entei didn't come about until recently. You don't have Ice Punch, but even if you do, it doesn't help that much because you don't have Surf. You get Surf by beating the Kimono Girls, and Entei beats the Kimono Girls more than a minute faster than Totodile. So without Surf, you 2-hit the Magnemite. Magnemite has Thunder Shock, which does like half, has Supersonic, which is really bad, and Haunter has Curse, which is what kills you in the end. So we're going to switch out so that Haunter disperns the Curse on Kenya, and now he can't do it on Gator because his health is already a half. So we're just going to have some free setup. And he is going to spam Lick and paralyze us probably once or twice, but we've got the berry. And we've got healing items. So very likely fine. Okay, that is +2, so we can get it +5. Ooh, nice. Sometimes they use a spike even if you don't know it. Yeah. Okay. If I could just not get it on the next 2 turns, that would be fantastic. Come on. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Aww. just have to wait for him to not paralyze. Okay. Oh, I didn't X special again. Oops. It's fine, with this special, Bayleaf is very favorable. So what move are we going to use on the Bayleaf? I don't have anything right now. Now we do. So it's what, 72% to two-hit the Bayleaf, and he doesn't usually use Razor Leaf. He's got the same AI as Rival 2. A flinch would be really nice. Oh wow, nice. Okay. Terrible range, but got the flinch, and got the two-hit. Anyway. Good stuff. Okay, now Entei. There's so much to explain here, but I've also got to make sure my execution is right, although I am not going to do the RNG manipulation. So yeah, as I explained before, we don't really have manip for Entei. So we're going to save here before we release the dogs. So what happens is the dogs jump to the same location right away, but then you have to escape out of here and then walk out of the tower and go to a route where you're searching for them. So in that time they can move around quite a bit, but they're still going to stay in about the same general area. So it's 26% for Entei to appear on Route 37 each time I try this, and if he's not there, then we gotta reset and do the dog's cutscene again. It's faster to do manip, but manip has just been so inconsistent, and we don't really understand what... Oh, I didn't repel, did I? I didn't repel. Okay, that's fine. Because normally we repel... Yeah, when you do the manip, then you repel there. Okay. So, let's try this again. Oh. World record strats. Easy. Might get those 10 minutes back now. So yeah, pretty lucky. It's 26% for him to be here, but then there's a chance that he just doesn't appear in the time it takes me to go through one repel, so it's more like 22%. Which means it's like 4 tries on average or something. Okay, 150 HP, that is a good sign. So Entei's moveset at the start isn't much, but because it is such a huge level advantage, it's enough to get through this gym, and then we're going to reach level 41 right at the end. And that'll give us Stomp, and that one hits all of the Kimono Girls, so we're just saving huge time over Totodile in the gym and against the girls. And then we get Strength, which packs a pretty decent punch on Entei until we get to Kanto anyway. With the base 115 attack. So basically until the Elite Four, Entei is noticeably faster than Totodile. And it's also faster in those subtle ways I mentioned before, where it's not spending as much time leveling up and it's a shorter cry. I actually can beat the Totodile world record with this run, because I got so lucky on Entei, but because I'll be saving still in a couple places, and because you can just get wrecked by spinners. If you're not lucky, you'll hit like 3 spinners the rest of the run. 2 or 3. It's not likely, and of course I'm not going to beat the actual world record. Travis, please. It's only marathon incompatible like half the time. Everyone needs to know. Alright, so some damage rangers coming up. We have a decent idea of our special based on this Haunter. That is a very good sign. That usually does not die. We won't know our attack until we actually level up at the end of the Morty fight. As Keys mentioned at the start of the run, you know, it's random what Entei you get, and if you end up with bad attack and bad special, it can be a bit of a rough go, but it's not risky anywhere. If you die, it's because you got really bad luck with, like, getting critical or missing Iron Tail. But yeah, it'd be great to see, like, 110 attack higher. Yeah, basically, like, hunting for Entei in a marathon is like, you know, the Ocarina of Time. Day Peanut glitch. I don't even know if that's in the route anymore, but it's like, what, 25% or something to work, 23% each time. And it looks so bad when it fails. It looks so good when it works. So I remember watching that run at the GDQ like 2 years ago. It's like, oh wow. And everybody was talking on Twitter about, oh, this is not marathon friendly, so you don't submit this run. But really, whether a run is marathon friendly just depends on how lucky you get. Okay, so with that special, this fight can be a little trolly, but it looks like I have good special, so everything will go down as it's supposed to. The last Haunter will be an unfavorable range. Gengar should be guaranteed to die into. If this doesn't die, that means I just got a crazy good roll on the level 22 Haunter. Yeah, this is nice. And we get the Gen 2 miss. Hypnosis is only 45% accurate because 60 times that 0.75 multiplier I mentioned before. Do we get the perfect gem? Oh, so close. But we didn't get Spite, so our under PP is fine, and we did get Nightshade, so we're not gonna die to Jasmine. 104. That's unfortunate. Well, okay, what is that? I'm gonna check. I believe that is... Oh dear, is that 3 DB attack? So did we actually just get 3 DB attack on both the Entei and the Totodile? I think that is... Yep, 3 DB attack. Let's do it. When everything is arranged. I didn't check my special, but it's pretty good. I didn't see. I think my speed might have been enough for red. But attack is the most important stat, and we did get saddled with a female Entei. Yeah, speed is not quite good enough for red. So what? Let's just go look at all of the things that are ranges that normally aren't, because there's not much happening here. It's all pretty much harmless Pokemon, but the time loss can have it. Alright, so the Umbreon can live 95% range. The Hitmonchan and the Machoke and Chuck's gym can live. The Dugong, Price's gym is gonna live, so I'm just gonna go for the flinch with Stomp on that one. A bunch of Pokemon are ranges during the Rocket segment. I'll control you with status moves. The big fight where you can lose a ton of time because of the attack is Claire, and it's one of the fights where you wish you had turn to set up or more money by an Exark. So I'm probably going to save for Claire with this. But when you have bad stats on Entei, there's a nice way to correct them for the most part with minimal time loss, and that's to get the rare candy in the lighthouse. The Totodile route always got that candy, because you needed it to evolve into Alligator or Chuck's Gym. Entei can skip it with good stats, but it just ends up being worth it mathematically to get it with bad stats, and it's much safer for a marathon to do so. But yeah, you're seeing that even though this Entei isn't great, it just plows through this section. This Jolteon in particular is a pain with Totodile because if it criticals Thundershock, it usually 2-hits you, it can paralyze you, it outspeeds you, wastes healing items. And now we get Surf. Toss this. Couple of spinners coming up here. Okay. Didn't want to go when she was facing right. Okay, we repelled on a specific tile there. So this movement around this trainer is a bit easier. The headbutt is 70 power, stomp is 65. But both gain so much value from the flinches. Like, you usually get like 5 useful flinches with Entei, and you keep Stomp until the end, so you go for the flinch on red, and it can save a lot of time. Everything in the lighthouse here dies in 1 hit. With Totodile, the Noctowl is a 2-hit, and it has Hypnosis, and the Marill is a 2-hit, and the Growlithes can be ranges, and super effective text. So yeah, this section of the run is pretty much just dodge the spinners. There's 4 of them between Morty and Chuck, and the next 2 are pretty slow fights if I hit them. And then I've got 3 more spinners before I face Price, and all of them are quite slow as well. And just as the spinners in the early game don't help the run that much because Totodile just gets ditched for Entei, Entei doesn't really need the experience from spinners that much. I'll have different places to use the rare candy based on which spinners I hit. But you're never going to make back a decent amount of the time that you lose removing a spinner. So I'm about, 5 minutes behind world record, if my splits are correct. May or may not have had a practice run that was 20 minutes behind that I stopped doing when I hit a spinner. Just gotta get the bad luck out of the way. But I did catch Poliwag at my PB, so I have to spend 30 seconds getting the lovely Dratini later.
Yay, Dratini. I disappeared for a little bit. What did I miss with Entei? Is it good?
3D the attack, just like Toto.
No!
Ah. Okay, that was good. We're still spinnerless, aren't we? Their special's good. Good. Nice controller. So yeah, we'll be getting the rare candy and we'll get the protein and ice path. Boost our attack some more. Just as with the Totodile route, we're going to teach Strength when we pause for this spinner. Nice task. Oh, you're kidding. That's not fair. I was faster. Okay.
This run sure has been spinnerless.
Alright, you Gunner fans can exhale now. I'm not gonna beat this time in the marathon. So, I gotta see. If I hit Kaylee, then I use an ice path. It's the rare candy. Is this gonna help the Hitmonchan range at least? Into this die system. I have notes in for like what to do against each spinner, but it generally is in my head is just don't hit the spinner. So I just try to improv it. As I said before, there's only one spinner that can kill you, and that's Anthony. I'm just safe with him. So yeah, with Strength we would be two-hitting these Hitmons and the Choke and the Primeape, and be setting up an X attack on Chuck. With Entei, the only thing that gets a turn is the Poliwrath, and it doesn't do very much with Cert. Really the bigger threat is time loss with Hypnosis, and sometimes you don't have a full heal, but I've got two of them here. My attack is not good enough to go for the flinch on Poliwrath. So, just double strength if we just crit it. What am I doing? I thought I was on the other fight. Trying to think about what to do on Jasmine. Like hitting Kaylee or Ernest can be kind of annoying because it gives you level 43 for Jasmine's Steelix. And you actually want to do less damage to that Steelix with Ember so that you don't knock it into Hyper Potion range. If you have bad special, it's okay to get level 43, but I have good special, so I'm trying to think if I should burn an X special and then risk an Iron Tail miss later, because I don't have enough X specials to take out Bruno. Flamethrower. I don't want to use Fire Spin on Jasmine, but I might have to. It's gonna be so likely to get the heal. And SS, he never dynamic punches because Surf does more. Just like he never surfs Toda out, his dynamic punch does more. I don't need to Ember these, do I? I deleted Fire Spin, that's right, this route doesn't keep it. Alright. So... Level do you get Flamethrower 51, so that'll be somewhat the Claire's gem. Yeah, it's... it feels like a bigger difference than it is to not get Dynamic Punch on this fight, because so many good Crystal runs have been lost to getting hit by Dynamic Punch and hitting yourself in confusion. Like, it's ridiculous. It's actually really a low chance, but Keys and I had a stretch where we died like 4 times to this fight when we were like way ahead of the world record pace. And it happened like my best Totodile run ever, just like a year after that. I didn't die to this fight. I switched out after I got confused, and then when I came back in, I didn't have my X attack anymore, so Strength left Polyrath on 1 HP. And then he killed me because he hit another Dynamic Punch. And then he hit another one on my Kenya, and another one on my Poliwag, and so all that was left was Sentret. So that special was really good, so I don't know what to do on Jasmine. Could do improv backup shop strats. Anyway, Sentret got the miss from Dynamic Punch and spent about a minute leveling up. So even though I didn't die, it was effectively run over. So I'll never forget my struggles with Chuck and how much easier it is with Entei. Of course, it's easier still with Raikou, but then Raikou has much harder time on Jasmine. Final level is 63. 64 if you hit spinners. My notes have something about this. It says to X Special here. The problem is if I X Special here, I'm gonna have to, like... I don't know what I'm gonna do on Bruno. There are a couple of fights in this game where... there's one Pokemon you need to hit with Iron Tail. We'll be teaching Iron Tail after we get it from Jasmine. And I'll talk more about why that move is... usually... good. But it's weird because there's 2 fights where you need to hit 1, and it's 75% accurate. And you think, okay, if you miss, you probably just lose like 10 seconds. Well, you lose more like a minute. Okay, slow. Because the Pokemon that you miss against uses Sandstorm, and even though you have animations turned off, Sandstorm animations do appear, and it loses about 6 seconds per turn, and you take a ton of damage that you then have to heal off. And sometimes heal during the fight, so then it's another turn of Sandstorm. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like guaranteed to hit it into heal range. If I don't X Special, so I'm just gonna have to deal with the Bruno fight. Yeah. By the way, fighting Jasmine now instead of after Price, or after Legged Rage, as Totodile does, saves a few seconds in movement, because what you do is you beat Jasmine and then you beat Price. And then you bike to Blackthorn from Mahogany, and you load the fly point right outside of the cave instead of having to bike all the way from the cave exit to the gym. Oh, I have an extra X special. We're fine because I had good special on Toto, and I only used 5. Oh, that worked out really well. So we're fine against Bruno. And Totodile could not do Jasmine early because it's like level 32, level 33 if you hit like a bunch of spinners, and Steelix doesn't die to Surf at that level. And then when you miss the Surf range, you get... She uses a Hyper Potion, and then it's really slow to watch Steelix's HP bar go up. And uses Sunny Day, so then it could take another turn to kill the Surf. So little time saves like that can be found throughout the Entei route. The fight itself is slower because we don't have Flamethrower with the 2-hit for Steelix. Why is the cursor there? Wow. So here's Iron Tail, move that often makes or breaks the run because of its accuracy.
Iron Tail's bad.
So Iron Tail, it's 100 power steel move, 75% accurate, 15 PP, and I don't like that pass. Okay. It came about because we were looking at hidden power routing, and we couldn't really find anything good. Hidden power is up here. You may have seen it in a Gen 4 run. You have to cut a bunch of bushes. You go around, like, I forget exactly where you dock, but you don't go up here. It's like you go to the left before you reach the lake, and then you cut like 6 bushes, and you talk to a guy in a house, and he gives you the TM, and then you walk out and teach it, and all in all that's like 70 seconds. And there aren't any really good hidden powers for Entei. It doesn't have any fights where it struggles that hard, more than like 1 or 2 turns lost. So, that and getting a hidden power requires manipulation, or like even more luck than we already get encountering Entei. So then I just looked at Iron Tail, and I was like, I know Iron Tail is bad, because, misses are slow in this game. There's like a ton of lag before the miss text box. And it actually kills a lot of things that no other move can kill, because Strength is only 80 power, and you have Ember for a while, that's pitiful 40 power. Iron Tail gets the Steel badge boost from Jasmine. For those who don't know, gym leaders give boosts to moves that correspond to their type after you beat them. So after you beat Jasmine, any Steel type move you use in battle is boosted by 9/8. And the gym leaders also have stat boosts. Like when you beat Faulkner, you get a boost to your attack, so any physical move will be boosted by 9/8. So that's 2 badge boosts on Iron Tail, and I also have 2 badge boosts for my normal type move, Stomp and Strength, because Whitney is the normal type gym leader. And that mechanic is kind of the basis for in both the Entei and the Totodile routes and why they're so effective. So you're getting all of these boosts. They don't have a badge boost in Gen 4 and later, and they don't have the type badge boost in any gen except this one. See, Iron Tail hits really hard. It's generally really punishing when you miss in terms of time. But if you play it safe, you won't die to missing Iron Tail. The one snag that can happen is, as I mentioned before, I bought 1x accuracy and I wish I had money for more. Because there is Bruno fight where if you have X specials you don't need to use Iron Tail, you can just flamethrower the Onyx. And then there's the blue fight, the last gym leader in Kanto. And blue has a Rhydon, and it doesn't die to a flamethrower even after 2x specials, so you have to go physical in that fight. Even if you would use 3x specials, the Arcanine wouldn't die, the Gyarados wouldn't die, the Gyarados only 2 to 5 your pump. So you go physical, and then you have this X accuracy that you can use that you don't miss Iron Tail into Sandstorm, or if you're at low HP, he just kills you with Earthquake. But Karen, the last member of the Elite Four, has an Umbreon that likes to spam Sand Attack, and that fight can be pretty devastating if you start missing, and it's really slow to switch out, and you just don't have the money for 2x accuracies. So you just hope that Karen doesn't Sand Attack you, and if she does, then you kind of play it by ear.
Quality routing.
And, how badly do I need to hit all of my moves on this fight? And what I'll probably do in this run is just risk it, and if it gets bad, switch out. So that way I have that X accuracy for blue. Blue it's so bad if you miss the Rhydon. Though sometimes he can randomly Fury Attack. Anyway, yeah, Iron Tail's a fun move. It's not quite on the level of Thunder in Fire Red Round 2 or in Heart Gold, because when you miss Thunder in Heart Gold, you often just die. Fire Red Round 2 is just awful. You hit 30 Thunders aren't boosted. But considering how long this run is and how lucky you have to be to get an Entei on good pace, Iron Tail feels worse than it is. So we pretty much have our final moveset now, with Stomp, Strength, Iron Tail, and then Ember, which is just going to be upgraded to Flamethrower once we hit level 51. At this point, if we had a Raikou, our moveset would be Quick Attack, Strength, Spark, and I don't even remember if I decided to teach Iron Tail to Raikou, but Raikou struggles too much from not having a good move pool. So this part of the run, we get a couple of tense spinner passes coming up, but other than that, this is not the most exciting part of the run. You're fighting Pokemon that are way under-leveled, I'm quite a bit over-leveled. And the execution is pretty trivial except for Ice Path. So if you have any questions about stuff that I've gone over, just general questions about the route, now would be a good time. I can look at chat a bit more. We can just chill.
Hi, yes, when's Totodile in Gen 4?
Good question. When is Totodile in Gen 4?
I don't know.
The routing kinda died after that one big day of discussion.
Because Burster wants natural gift.
I think Totodile is bad, as you said.
I can confirm that it's bad.
But I also think getting Fly is bad. So it's maybe the route someday we'll just have to choose which form of suffering do we want? You should definitely be skipping charge beam in any case. It's such a waste. If you had stat manipulation, would Raikou be faster? No. I mean, it would benefit more than Entei would, because you would just get hidden power, and then Jasmine would be like a minute faster. Just hidden power, fire, hidden any hidden power basically that has an effect on Steelix is an upgrade over Strength. And I think it would be faster than Totodile, but it wouldn't beat Entei. I gotta dodge this spinner. Oh! Okay, that's decent. One more pass. That guy's got 2 Rattatas and a Zubat, just no experience, just waste your time. How much of Entei's time save is before or after the Elite Four? Oh. I haven't looked at that route. Entei loses time in Kanto, though. It loses like 15 seconds. On average, it saves time because you never die to red, whereas Totodile dies or loses a ton of time to red more than half the time. But if you get good luck...
my only Entei run that got to red was awful. I didn't die, but I might as well have.
Oh, and I missed the question. How long would you say look for an Entei before it's not worth it? Well, I mean, that just depends on your goal. Like, there are runners who are not, like, contending for world record, who I, have encouraged to use the Entei route because I just prefer, I think it's more interesting. I think it's a nice change of pace from the Totodile grind that runners have done for the past, like, 5-6 years. So you just have to look at it like any run. Like, is my goal strictly to PB or to world record or to get this time? If you get Entei right away, then you save about 2.5 minutes over Totodile, assuming the Entei is not terrible. Not taking that. Okay, fine. Get wrecked. So, if you spend 5 minutes hunting for Entei, then, hindsight's 20/20.
Streamer, I know you're talking about Entei a lot, but what Pokemon are you using?
What Pokemon do I use? Chikorita.
Oh, okay, oh. That's what a Chikorita back sprite looks like? I never knew.
I don't know what a Chikorita cry looks like. I get 10 on my lips. But yeah, I've been the only one to have success with the Entei route, which I think is just me getting lucky. Other people have tried and they just hunt for 10 minutes. Or in Keys' case, he got it quickly, but it had like 0 attack and hit like 4 spinners and got wrecked by red. I mean, just like I was saying, like if a run is marathon friendly, it's because you got lucky. If it's not marathon friendly, it's because you got unlucky. With Entei, it's just, My approach when I started routing this was I have to just get as many runs to Entei as possible because I know a lot of them mathematically should die to not finding it. And I think just having that approach made me enjoy it more, never expecting to get Entei. But I still did get lucky. And if you're looking to beat the game as fast as possible, on average, Totodile is still better, but speedrunning isn't really about, like, fastest on average. We do try to reset for the optimal conditions, so, unless your goal is, like, strictly to get, like, a 3:19 or some time that Totodile can reasonably get, but Entei might just never get on some runs, then, I would recommend Entei because I just think it's more interesting. There's already a Totodile run that's very similar to the Crystal Totodile run, and that's the Pokemon Gold Glitchless route. So, like, if you really want to run Totodile, run Gold. If you want something different, then go with Entei. Is Chikorita as bad as Trico? No. Chikorita actually has a really easy time. It just have to fight like 5 extra trainers on the first couple splits for the first couple generators. It's not the most fun route because you're just spamming like return and strength and body slam, and occasionally raise relief. You don't get much diversity in your moveset or in your strats. It's like by 31 X attacks in Goldenrod and then just X attack everything. But you are able to finish. Like a Chikorita run might be able to beat the run that I get here. Probably not, because this has been a pretty lucky run, but like the practice run I had earlier, which would have been like 3.5 hours, Chikorita can definitely beat that. Gen 2 is just really easy after the first few gyms. Gen 3 is actually designed to be somewhat challenging in places. Like the second rival fight is so brutal with Trico and the Watson fight. How many shinies have I found? I think 3? Found a couple of shiny Totodiles within like a week. Nice.
But you just found a shiny Gyarados.
Oh. Right.
What a blessed run this is.
Okay, not gonna say anything here, just gonna let it happen.
My favorite part.
Oh my god. Okay. Well.
What kind of crap is that? This isn't my favorite part anymore, I'm mad.
Cool. It's like, so this is always, like, when you see him facing right on the second pass, you're pretty much like, okay, yeah, he hit me. Like, you have conceded that you're gonna lose the minute. And then you just hold right because you've practiced holding right in case he somehow doesn't. And then it's like, did I just dodge him? Like, it gets you every time, no matter how much. No matter how much you practice, run this game, when he spins away at the last minute. Douglas is by far the most likely spinner to hit you because you cannot pause in front of him, you're just skating on ice. And when you skate on ice, you bonk into him, and then you have to take, it's like 10 frames that it takes to turn. On the first pass. So it's something like 55% for him to hit you, whereas other spinners are like 15% if you're good. And he's got 2 Shelders and then a Cloyster that doesn't always die, and it knows Protect and Supersonic. If you want to know how bad that guy spinner is, Douglas, you can find a highlight on Exarion's YouTube.
It's so bad.
It's heartbreaking.
I was so far ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna do pansy strats here because I don't. Mean old Exarion here made me turn down the audio, so I don't have all of the cues for the tough movement in here, plus I haven't practiced it that much. But this is the most technically demanding part of the run, Ice Path. Not so much the first room, just the second room with the boulders. If you mess it up, you lose 30 seconds. It's very easy to mess it up. It's all kind of in one motion, so playing it carefully doesn't always help. But I'm gonna do that here, just because I don't want to have to worry about being down or repel, or just want to focus on the rest of the run.
So, speaking of time loss, are you ready for this?
What?
I'm trying to get my backup save ready for Soul Silver. And I just got 12 roosts in a row.
Nice.
I hate this game.
Wow, that was terrible. But yeah. You really need to practice those boulders a lot if you do them in runs, because it's so unlikely to get a run here that you're going to be nervous. The idea is that you can move while the boulder is moving, so just you push it and then immediately move up to where you're going to push it next. It can be done very fast, looks very nice.
Hi, Jackson.
Oh my god, let's do this. Okay, so protein. Now we got our Entei beefed up with the protein and rare candy. So the 3DV attack won't be as noticeable. Still gonna be a tough clear fight though.
You gotta be kidding me. That Falconer fight took so long for me that the hour rolled over and extended minute is dead. I hate this game.
I don't remember SS. I think he had like 2 runs with like 4 DV or less. Like 3 DV is kind of better than 4 because it means you have higher HP. Your HP is just like the sum of whether your other DVs are even or odd. So if you have if your attack DV is odd, then that adds 8 to your HP DV. If your defense is odd, it adds 4. Speed adds 3. Special adds 1. And there are some places where Entei needs to be able to tank moves if you want to go fast. So a lot of these Pokemon that I'm taking out in one hit are ranges for Alligator. Alligator at this point in the run is level 37. And it has worse attack. It does have Surf. But yeah, like that Arbok is a damage range, the Arbok in the hideout. Like Bloom in the hideout can be a range, a really bad special. The Electrodes are ranges. The Seal is a range on price. The Dugong you can't one-hit. I could have one-hit it with Iron Tail, but it's not worth going for that range. I can just miss anyway. And then a few more Pokemon in this Radio Tower and Underground section. But after I get through this and move on to Claire's Gym, I'm actually losing turns to Totodile. But it's minimal compared to what I've gained so far. And Entei has a very high top end. Top end is always important to consider when speedrunning because you're going to do enough resets that you can get good luck on one of your runs. If you hit all of the important Iron Tails and you get some good stomp flinches, then you can actually do better than Totodile. I should check my special. I never check. I know it's very good, but I didn't actually check it earlier. So 43 at level, or 100 at level 43. So that is 14 DV special. Or wait, it could actually be 15 DV. It's my HP. My HP is so at 10 DV HP. So that means my special's 14 DV, so nearly perfect. Check my defense or speed, but those don't matter. too much. If you have 14 to 15 dB speed, then you're faster than Red's Espeon, so you don't need to set up an X speed on the Pikachu. But since Pikachu normally spams Charm and you just set up a guard spec, it's not a big deal to have the X speed. And you buy the X speed before you know your Entei, so it's not like it saves time in buying. Anyway, here is the reminder that I always, whenever I commentate a Crystal run, I always mention this in hopes that someday it'll happen. You can actually skip this trainer if you fight the trainer to his left, like between the one that I just fought and then this guy. So like you get that guy to see you from below, so he opens up a path upstairs. He only has one Pokemon, it's a Weezing. And that usually one hit compared to the 3 Magnemite's here. And then to avoid hitting this guy on the way down when the Weezing guy's position resets, you just Death Warp out, which you can do by getting poisoned by the executive on the top. Unfortunately, that setup is very slow. But I really want to see some road do it. Death Warp strats are awesome. So this is another poke that usually doesn't go down to a Surf run for Alligator. This is range with Entei. It's like 90%. Usually it's guaranteed. So I'm gonna check my defense now. Defense is... I don't know, it's not 7, and because I hit a spinner in Rare Candy, my chart isn't quite right. My chart assumes I hit no spinners, but I think I have 8 DB defense, so right in the middle. If your defense is better than your special, then you actually save a decent amount of time on blue, because his Arcanine will use either Extreme Speed or Flamethrower, and it just depends on how much damage she does. So if Extreme Speed does more, he'll always use Extreme Speed. If Flamethrower does more, he'll always use that. And it's like, it's about 5 seconds worth time to watch your HP go down from the Extreme Speed, and then have to heal that off before Red. And sometimes you're at low HP, so you can die to a crit Extreme Speed. But in general, Special is the more valuable stat, because it works offensively and defensively. I think this Entei has a chance to survive a critical Surf from Claire's Kingdra. I don't necessarily want to be in that position, because when you're at full HP, Claire's Kingdra favors using Smokescreen. Claire is a really annoying fight. So here we will normally, or we used to, I should say, used to use the PC, and once again Swag Talk to it from the side, to double deposit, and double depositing is just, that's another form of healing. Your Pokemon gets healed when it's in the PC, so you deposit it, and withdraw it, and then just switch it back to slot 1 and you're at full. But that is actually slower here, even though it's less movement, because it would switch my party order so that my flyer, Spearow, is in slot 3 instead of slot 2. And I will be using Fly throughout the run, it's like 10 times or something. unfortunately, Totodile is able to skip that heal sometimes, or it's able to do it before you go to Radio Tower, so you're already at the center and it saves the time of movement, but Entei, just the way it works out, it has to take that center. You don't have to use an ether or anything like that, it's just that one heal, and you shouldn't have to heal HP or PP. The rest of the run, or the rest of the run to the Elite Four. How good is this Entei? It's 10 dB HP, a little bit above average, 3 dB attack, which is terrible, 8 defense, which is average, 14 special, which is great, and then speed is like 11. I think it's 11. And
it's a keys Entei.
Yeah, yeah. The speed doesn't matter if it's not 14 or 15, so... Yeah, you had an Entei that was like terrible attack and good everything else.
Yep.
But
Sure did.
Yeah, when we thought RNG Manip was easier than it was for Entei, we were thinking, okay, maybe we can't get a perfect Entei, but what would we be willing to settle for? Or what do we want to use as a placeholder until someone puts like serious work into like using a bot to find a perfect one, and we concluded that we'd rather have like perfect attack, 15 dB attack, and terrible everything else than this. Just terrible attack and good everything else. Okay, Iron Tail time. See how slow it is to miss? Like in Gen 1, when you miss, it's like instant. In Gen 3, it's kind of slow, but it's like the same speed. Gen 2, it's just nope. So we're 3 for 4.
I remember I spent like half of the day thinking that I found some sort of a nip, and it turns out that it's a lot more complicated than we thought.
Welcome to the club. Every Gen 2 runner's experience. Did not know that it was a range at 48. Wow. Okay then.
3 attack!
Like, that dies at 47? I mean, you need amazing attack, but okay, I'll just save the input. No.
It's so good.
I mean, sometimes you're 46 for this Sneasel. Dang. You get boosts to your damage when you reach levels ending in 0, 3, 5, or 8. So, like, if you have 100 attack, you'll do the same damage at level 46 and 47, but then you'll get a boost at 48, plus whatever boost you get from your attack going up at each level. So I thought that would be enough. I'll never underestimate the keys Entei.
One day my name will have a positive connotation to these speedruns. One day. Keys at range. Keys Entei. Keys Agatha. Keys a charge.
Some of this are kind
Keys
of positive.
Keys a scroll, I guess.
How much worse is Raikou? It's like 3 or 4 minutes worse than than Entei, and so it's like 1.5 minutes slower than Totodile.
Entei's Garbo and Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Just flamethrower and that's it, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I guess you could teach it strength.
Oh boy. Oh my god.
You don't use Thunder in every single route. You use Thunder on low experience with Raikou and Heart Gold Soul Silver. If you have high experience, you skip it entirely.
So I used a couple of extra stomps when I was supposed to Ember. My light in my room was flickering really badly, so I had to go fix it, but the PP here is pretty flexible, especially when you get the rare candy. But dude, I always do this. Even runners get bored of this section. Like this section, I always say this is, it's actually really fun when you're on a good run. You're on PB pace, you're just like really focused. Even though it's just mashing and just like remembering which trainer you fought last and where to move next. And you're just trying not to think too much about what comes up ahead, because there is some like tough movement that you try to do if you're going for a good run, like the ice path movement, you know. Supposed to be that faster than I did here, and then I am gonna try the swag movement outside of Tojo Falls. Yeah, if we had bad special, this Raticate would be a range. I think good special really makes a lot of the issues of bad attack go away.
But Charlie, run with bad special and encourage other people to run bad special.
Yeah, like this wheezing doesn't die if you have that special. So you have to strength it. Yeah, that's definitely a part of Gen 2. It's like I've never found it as boring as some people. Partly just because I love listening to the music. I love playing this casually. Like, I never get tired of the feels playing this game. But, yeah, it really does depend on the run. It sucks to be, like, when you hit Douglas, that spinner in Price's Gym that gives you more than half the time, and it's like, well, off to do 30 minutes of fighting level 25 Poffings and Rattatas and hitting Iron Tails. Like, it's... helps a lot to have a chat to talk to, that's for sure, but then chat gets bored in this section, as they should. So, Gen 2 is just overall not that well built for speedrunning. It can be a fun game to stream. It's fun to route. Like I've had so much fun, you know, optimizing the Entei route, and there's still optimization to come, not just with manipulation. Like, not that many people have worked on it. Like Underscore and I did quite a bit, and Keys came along and helped. But other than that, it's been kind of left alone because, you know, Gen 2 isn't the best speedrun, and
I mean, it could be worse. It could be Gen 7.
yeah. Yeah, it's not the best speedrun, and the Entei route is difficult to get going sometimes. The other thing is, a lot of the people who run Gen 2 are on emulator, and RNG manipulations on emulator work differently. So you have to convert some of the timings that, you know, are listed in the guides on speedrun.com to fit emulator, and that may or may not change in the future. I don't know if the emulator is going to get updated so that the reset time matches console, but for the time being, it's a bit awkward. Where's the radio card? I already got it so that I could make Entei appear faster. The best gen to speedrun? 3 or 4, in my opinion. Gen 3 just has so many options. You've got Sapphire and Emerald are quite a bit different. Fire Red, Leaf Green, you know, are not the best runs, but they have some appeal. And there's the round 2 category, which is... don't do it. Okay, we're just gonna do this, get rid of this Bitterberry. Don't have to worry about taking damage. Yeah, like there's a couple of... there's like 4 options if you want to run Fire Red, Leaf Green. There's what you just saw, the race between Charmander and Squirtle to beat the game. And then there's the round 2 category, which is the most brutal RNG of any Pokemon game, but it's also a lot of fun to route and to do runs when you're not going for a really good time. And you can run that with Squirtle all the way, or Squirtle into Mewtwo, or Squirtle into Zapdos, or Charmander into Mewtwo. There's a lot of options. And then there's Coliseum and XD. Oh, I'm supposed to remember... wait. I get level 50 for Vileplume, so I get the level boost, and then Ember is gonna do more than Iron Tail. So I have such a good special. Like, Coliseum is the best speedrun, in my opinion. As long as you've got the time to do the resets, it's a pretty long one. And XD is not such a good run, but you know, a lot of people like that game casually. Oops. I thought I was on that fight. Yeah, Coliseum's coming up.
85% means crap. You know what else is 85%? Fire Blast.
Yeah.
You know what I miss all the time? Fire Blast.
Yeah, I mentioned to Paper Guy earlier. Paper Guy is the guy who's going to run Coliseum after this run. I was actually more excited to commentate for his Coliseum run than I was to do this run. I was mostly just kind of worried about not getting Entei fast enough, and then it's like, well, yeah, so here's this route that's faster, and I just lost 5 minutes, but like I said, if it works out. But anyway, Coliseum is just great. Like, I mean, Coliseum has a lot of RNG, but the knowledge that goes into it, all the different things that can happen, the AI manipulations, it's just a fantastic run, and we've got a new glitch to show off that makes it more consistent.
You mean you weren't excited to speedrun your favorite game with your favorite person?
I mean, not that I wasn't looking for it, it's that I was not excited about the certain things about it. Hey dude, if I just did this by myself, it'd be a lot less entertaining. How many runs are you commentating, by the way?
Well, I did, including this one, I've done 3 today.
Oh,
I
wow.
popped in every now and again for the race. I don't know if I'm doing any tomorrow or Sunday, I'm not sure. Way to get blocked by
Yeah,
her.
that's like, I remember routing the movement for that. This feels so weird to just walk out without getting the card, but yeah, you don't need it. I got the pink bow. Okay, so here's a nice little time save that Entei gets over Totodile is I can just take this Mart to stock up on X items for the late game instead of flying back to Goldenrod. I should probably do this menu.
I feel like if I commentated for Blindfolded Challenge Cup, I'd be like, yep, and he pressed that button and he can't see what button he's pushing.
I just cut it. Okay, awkward menu, but yeah, the Totodile route, there was actually a really fun reroute to Totodile back in 2015. We used to get Earthquake and Victory Road, and just do one really tight shopping trip in Goldenrod. And then we realized it was just going to be faster to do 2 shopping trips, and get return on the second one, because since you're using Totodile for the whole run, it gets very happy, and return gets to be, by the end of the run it's at 102 power, plus it gets the normal badge boost and the attack badge boost and the pink bow boost, so it's super beefed up, and it's quite a bit better than Earthquake. Now Entei, because you catch him later, he never gets happy enough to use return. By the very end of the run, return is about the same power as strength. So you do lose out on some turns in Kanto because of that, but you get to skip the slower Goldenrod Mart. And you do have Iron Tail as a very reliable option when you need a little extra punch.
I mean, if you want commentary like that, Ro. I've just been relatively quiet this run because Exarion's really good at explaining stuff, and I'm trying to get my backup save prepared. I've been trying for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
I finally just got past Whitney.
Paper, I wouldn't recommend Lab Torrent with that, the Gator, unless you've changed Gators since we talked last. Hard to do that on low HP. But hopefully one of us will get it in our attempts in the next week.
Will I ever run Colo? I don't know about that. I don't have the game.
Well, basically, Ryzakin, you get Torrent off the Voltorbs with Spark, or you just hit yourself with Espeon. Like Psychic Gator on the 8-bomb fight, and then you just Potion if you're in low Torrent so that you can maintain high Torrent and not die to things like Fortress. But it's really tight margins. No, not Water Gun. Okay, I'm gonna save for Flare. This is, yeah, I'm gonna save for Claire. We don't have a save. I always like to save when I haven't saved in a while in case like the power goes out or something, but we definitely can die. I've had some really sketchy Claire fights with bad attack. There's that fight that looks fine on paper and then it just starts to go horribly wrong. Basically, if you have good attack, the Dragonairs die to strength without setup. They're just guaranteed.
It's pretty much just Claire and Lance that can kill Entei, right?
Yeah, I'll be saving for Lance. Don't need to save for Red as long as I just remember to full restore after one Thunder. But if you have bad attack, then the Dragonairs don't die to strength all the time. So you have to Iron Tail, and hitting 3 Iron Tails is only like 43%. And if you miss, then they use Thunder Wave. And so then you heal the paralysis with a few full heals, and sometimes you don't have any. You usually have 1 or 2. I think I have 3 here. I was able to use a Bitter Berry to heal Confusion earlier. And then the Dragonairs have Thunderbolt, which can paralyze you, Surf, and Dragon Breath is really annoying. I think that's the last one that'll use Dragon Breath. There's one. I'm supposed to stomp the Kingdra. I don't know about this. It's a range. Okay, that's a good range. Oh! Get wrecked! Okay, we still gotta hit Iron Tails. I'd switch to Strength on the last Dragonair because it's okay to 2-hit it. This fight is easy, right?
Easy peasy.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna Strength this because I've got the PP, and if I 2-hit it, it's not gonna kill me. Famous last words.
I mean, you did say it was spinnerless, and then you immediately hit.
And that was just because you came back into the call.
Oh, yeah, sure. Blame me.
Yeah, that's how the Claire fight's supposed to go. You get that nice flinch chance that Gator doesn't get with Return, and Kingdra doesn't take forever damaging you with Surf and potentially killing you with the critical. And you save text, the Dragonair, so you don't need to Ice Punch them with the super effective text. And don't forget Dratini.
Dratini strat's so good.
I think I added up all of the super effective text for Totodile and Entei, and it was like exactly even. Yeah, on a standard run with good stats, the number of super effective text boxes. Super effective or not very effective. Each one is like a little less than a second. Which is better than like Gen 3 and 4 when it's 2 seconds. That stuff always adds up. So it was good to know that Entei wasn't losing too much time there. I remember when I routed Typhlosion, for this game. Like, it can do Kanto in fewer turns, but it loses like 20 seconds to super effective techs. Okay, so that repel is calculated to wear off before we menu here. Then we can combine the next super repel with the escape rope. Okay. We got all the questions right. If we get one of them wrong, and the Dratini doesn't have extreme speed, and then we don't have a backup for Lance, the Dragonite lives on 1 HP.
That's just such a big FU. Like, oh, you made a mistake. Your Dratini sucks now.
We got can spin it down, don't worry. When I minute the Master Ball at the beginning, that also minute the trash cans to just not exist in this game. Don't tell anyone. This is glitchless after all. Ta-da! Alright, and what do we want to do? Super teach our little guy lost HM. Let's see extreme speed there at the bottom. So now time for swag movement. Hopefully I don't mess it up. Looks rather silly when you do it. Neat. So those extra steps are intentional to get this repel to wear off in any place. That extra step as well. I think. So there's some weird strats here. I think that extra step that I took was for the YOLO strat. The one after the... I don't remember now. There's like 4 strats that you can use here to get this repel to wear off around the spinner. I don't remember which one I just did, but I got the swag movement around the trainer, so that feels good. Okay, that'll do. And see you later. Yeah, that's the one that I wanted to do, so I'm glad muscle memory came through there. Really cool thing about when you get a repel to wear off in front of a spinner rather than when you just manually pause is that there's no turn frame after a repel text box. You just stay in movement as long as you're like holding your direction up to clear the text box. So if the spinner was facing right there, it would have been a risky pass because right corresponds to down, but I could have turned left to go below her. Don't do it. Okay, it's annoying. Straight or range. At least I didn't get flinched. So yeah, get the repel to wear off on the first pass, and then repel on the second one, so no time wasted. Trying to get around that spinner. Okay, I'm not going to do this, but it is faster to approach this fight from one tile to the left because the rival walks fewer steps. It's just really awkward movement after the fight because like you gain control and immediately have to turn. And then if you bonk, you lose way more time than you saved from rival's movement. So I would do it if I was practicing more, if I had sound up higher on my TV. Oh, did the stream not, did it buffer when I was doing that? That's weird, Normally it would just...
Feel free to blame me for this one, because ever since I released it like that, I've been looking for it, and it's been still buffering.
Huh. I wouldn't be surprised if the recording just froze, because Amric does that about once per run. Oh well. Save a turn on this fight over Gator, because we've got a nice type advantage. So yeah, what are we? We're 6.5 minutes behind my PB. I don't remember if my PB hit a spinner. In Kanto, I don't think so. So, I mean, I'll finish under estimate, but it's not going to be a good time or anything. You do have to buy 4 restores here. Sometimes Relegator can skip them. Entei gets beat up quite a bit in Kanto, in addition to overall being slower. We could have bought Hyper Potions in Blackthorn and saved the trip to, you know, just a little bit of menuing talking to this guy, but full restores have a lot of value for when you get status by like Karen or Red. Or like if you get damaged, as I was here before Will, and then you get Confuse Ray from Zatu, you can full restore and get your health back, although sometimes you don't want to. We'll see what happens, but there's HP manip that comes into play, manipulating Karen's AI to not using Confuse Ray or Sand Attack. And I've gotten really lucky with the flinches this run. So cozy. Yeah, I did. I think I hit Joyce in my PB, that spinner that you guys didn't see. So now I'm only 6 minutes behind. The Elite Four with Entei can be really fast. A lot of it comes down to Lance and then to a lesser extent Karen. First two fights are easy really no matter what Pokemon you use. Gen 2 was weird like that. The Elite Four is so free. Even Lance, hard pressed to struggle against him. And then you get into Kanto and suddenly at the end, this level 81 Pikachu. We set up on the Fortress instead of the Ariados because the Ariados has double team. Fortress just uses Swift. So yeah, I'm gonna have really nice HP for Karen. I'm gonna take a Dig and a Mach Punch on the next fight, and that's gonna put me at about 95. And from there, I'm not as likely to get trolled by the Umbreon, and I can hopefully save my X accuracy for Blue, and I don't have to save for Blue. Yeah, ending at Lance, even though you could consider it beating the game, you could also consider Red beating the game, and beating Red is just a much more interesting category. Like, just beating Lance would be dumb RNG and, like, not a lot of difficulty, and it would not be enjoyable to me at all, and I think a lot of runners would agree. Don't forget to X Special on this fight. My original routes were trying to save money in Goldenrod and just not buy any X Specials other than what I needed to beat Rival 3s. So I would X Attack and go for the Iron Tail in this fight, and then I think one good run I forgot to use my X Specials, and then I did hit the Iron Tail on Onyx, but didn't feel too good to risk that. We should, what? I mean, I hope that too, but it's more likely that it's just gonna live on, like, 10, and then Extreme Speed won't kill it, and then I'll have to, you know. But I have... But I was just gonna say, I hope that we get a to Lance category for Gen 4, so that you guys can actually skip Charge Beam and Hidden Power and realize how amazing it is. Is that a Japanese category too?
Actually, I know there's a glitchless version, but I don't know if there's a glitchless.
So Mach Punch to 97, and you're good to go.
But I never got the glitch leaderboards. I thought I couldn't do about that.
Alright, damage ranges come into play on the Umbreon. It's not just about dodging Sand Attack. We get a good roll with Stomp. And actually, you know what? We're gonna do a different strat here. Normally you Stomp, hope that you flinch, because it's more likely to Sand Attack turn 1, and just after turn 1 chance goes down quite a bit, and we can freely set up. But then you have to sometimes hit an Iron Tail to kill it, because Stomp does so little without an X attack. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to Flamethrower, because my special is so good. And hopefully get the 2-hit. It's Okay, I burned it instead. Alright, well it's not gonna... Weird. Never had this fight before. Oh, I still need the X attack. Why did I do that? Okay, whatever. I'll just do it here. Use curse? No, not that. Oh my god. Stupid fight. Just use curse. Why? Oh my god, why is the cursor on stomp? That's so bad. Okay, that is horrible. Blind bad attack. We have like 4 full restores here. That's epic.
We were just manipulating the fight, so drag my hits on one, and
We didn't run out of flamethrowers. But this fight can go a lot of ways. Like, what's meant to happen in that situation is just... Flamethrower does more than half, and then you just kill the Umbreon. Or no. See, it's just awkward with bad attacks. Once you're on turn 2, you can like safely set up, so I probably should have just stomped turn 1 and then gone for the Iron Tail. I think my notes just need a little bit of reworking there, but like that fight is not a problem. It's just... It's like worst case scenario is you have to X-Act and that's pretty fast, and then just don't miss on blue. I'm just like particularly worried about it in a marathon because... it would lose a ton of time on blue to miss the Iron Tail. And... yeah, you don't want to take risks like that in a marathon run, and in an actual attempt, it's reasonable. Okay, so safe strats on Lance. So we got level 55. Dang. It doesn't cost too much time to get index. We do get 100% accurate thunders coming at us now. But yeah, normally I would set up 2x attacks on the Gyarados, and he would hit us with a Surf, put us at about 100, and then Rock Slide does about 70, so I would need to hit one of 2 Iron Tails to avoid death here. And now I have, what, 3 chances, possibly 4 with this defense. But the reason that I don't like doing this strat is it is an extra turn on the Gyarados, and then this Dragonite will almost always paralyze me. It's extremely unlikely that he misses. You know, he would have to miss like 3 times in a row at 75% instead of just 1. Okay, Hyper Beam. Well, now the question is, should we X-Attack again, or should we let Dratini? I should have full healed there. Why did I use Iron Tail? This Elite Four, man.
let me down.
What I should have done is used a full heal so I didn't spend forever watching my HP go up, and then miss the Dragonite range into critical Outrage or Hyper Beam, and then while he's recharging, finish him with Dratini. But I let you guys down. Because now, even if I miss the range, he can't kill me with critical. I could go for the Iron Tail though. Because I think it might be optimal to go. Yeah, it's actually optimal to go for Iron Tail. But I would have had to miss like 3 times.
One day, Dratini. One day.
Yeah, Iron Tail luck has been really good this run.
Did we ever look into how many levels he'd get from it?
It wasn't that many because it has slow curve. I want to say it was only 3. Which is still slow, but...
Better than a centric against Collier.
Yes, it is. Are there any trainers in games that use strength? Yeah, well, Colosseum. So it's like, I know I've seen it recently. Colosseum there for quite a few. I don't know about the main games. They tend to not like HN moves. Okay. No credits because gotta go fast. $2:29 in-game time. That used to be godly, and now I get it in a marathon run because Entei is so based. Ah, what am I doing? Tried turning twice. My movement has been so sloppy. Like, my execution the whole run has been sloppy. So Kanto, there's gonna be a few really annoying fights. We're gonna have to use a few more full restores. Gonna run out. I'm almost gonna run out of full restores. But it's more Iron Tail accuracy than my attack. Like, whether you have good attack or bad attack, you've gotta hit like 5 or 6 Iron Tails in Kanto. And these ones are a bit more punishing to miss than the ones earlier. There's the one on blue that I won't have to worry about because I got the exact. There's also Misty's Lapras, which hits really hard. And Sabrina's Espeon, which has Sand Attack and almost always uses it. Blaine's Macargo, which has Curse and Rock Slide, and a couple of Pokemon on Brock that have Surf. So it's not as bad as it sounds. But you can definitely lose a minute or so to bad fights. There are 3 spinners as well, 4 if we decide to keep the charge.
What have you got to lose?
PP. I don't want to Iron Tail Meryl. Like, it'll die, but... I mean, if we don't hit any spinners, then PP is... It's like we have to hit 2 to really be in trouble, and then we can just center or get the elixir. So why did I run this game? Wait, is this a... Is this a troll question? It is. No, I will definitely regret at some point in my life the time that I put into Red, because now Red is a terrible speed game. We put too much into it, and we knew when we were putting as much effort as we were that we were making it worse, but we did it anyway. So, I have myself to blame for that. It was once a glorious speed game. It's what got my speedrunning streaming career started. And now I'm just worried about, like, is every game gonna become like Red at some point? Okay, so the gym order is very flexible in Kanto. They kind of just let you go where you want, except for a few plot points that restrict your access to Pewter City, Viridian City. And we can do Erica's gym now or later, and it's about the same amount of time. We do it now because it helps with some just minor things, some really favorable ranges, and like move order. I don't remember all that it is, but it's like less than a second difference whether we do Erica now as opposed to after Nugget Bridge. Let's see, we have a Parasect in this gym that does not die to Swamp. Their attack is bad. And what else? Tangela does not die to Strength, have to flamethrower that. But it's really the gym leader fights that I have to worry about. Everything else is so low level. The Kanto is kind of like the Rocket segment part 2 and just how much filler there is. Thankfully the music is really solid. So it's still a lot of fun. And there's nothing like being on a good run in Kanto. Just so focused. Got the best track in all of Pokémon, which is the...
Nice path.
What? The Kanto gym leaders theme. Got that playing.
One downside about Kanto is the Heidi and coexist.
Yeah, that's one thing that Gold has over Crystal. You just have the one spinner in Sabrina's gym. But you're more likely to hit a spinner than not in Crystal. Unless you get Abra, then you can skip Heidi. And every time I think about it, it's like, no, it's mathematically not worth it to get Abra, and then the next run get Heidi, and it's like, well, regret. Heidi is the spinner coming up. After this fight, and then the required fight on Route 9, you have to pass her twice, because you make 2 visits to the power plant, and on each trip you have to pass her from the left and below, so it's like 4 total passes. And then Tom is the last spinner. He's after Sabrina, and you just have to go through him once, but it's 3 directions, left, down, and right. A lot of Pokemon runs these days, you get this far, and if you don't make a mistake, you're probably gonna PB, you're gonna meet your goal time. But in Crystal, like, you can have an amazing run and then just hit all the spinners, and it's terrible. And it feels bad, but it's not really your fault. Spinners are so crazy in this game. So we save a turn on Erica with Entei. Obviously the type advantage helps there. But we lose a bit of text having to flamethrower all of these super effective. Why did they spin? I mean, they're just programmed to face random directions. Most trainers are programmed to only face one direction. In Gen 2, they introduced the deadly spinner, and unlike in Gen 3, you can't manipulate spinners. You'll see in Shiru's run tomorrow, it's only in like 8 hours. He's got the morning slot. He's doing Emerald Glitchless, and there's a lot of neat spinner manips in that game, where if you execute properly, then you're guaranteed to dodge the spinner. And Keys is running Sapphire tomorrow, where you'll see more of that. And you'll see Kyogre Yola Ball manip as well.
Yes, even though it's terrible right now.
Oh man. Alright, here we go. Don't do it. Oh my god. Okay. 2 down, 2 to go. So you might have noticed throughout the run that I try to repel or do other things in the menu on a tile before a spinner. Pausing before a spinner does not manipulate them in any way, it just gives you perfect reaction time. So, you know, if they spin right as you pause, then you've caught yourself from hitting them. It's a bit time consuming when you pause, when you don't have anything to do in the menu, but it is worth it. Fights are slow in this game. But I think to save Flamethrower PP, I'm gonna want to go for the strength range on the Wiggly Woo. Yeah. This is the most dull part, 7 trainers. Way underleveled, not even fully evolved, and then we get into kind of a gym leader rush. Fake Wiggly Woo. It's these sections in the game where you actually notice, if you're timing the run, how much faster it is to be getting fewer level ups and a shorter cry on Entei. Like, I remember when I was just testing before we had before we tried manipulation, before we settled on the strat that we use now to get Entei, and I was just kind of routing in theory how good is Entei if we can somehow catch him, and we'll just play through with like a hacked Entei on emulator. It's like, oh, he's just saving time in places where he doesn't even save turns. Alright, got the critical, that works. You see that a lot in Pokémon runs, what I did there with... I used Strength on Tangela, even though it wasn't guaranteed to kill, because it saves super effective effects. Generally, if the range is like 90% or better, and the Pokemon isn't threatening, it doesn't have a status move, or a move that does a lot of damage, just risk the range because it's faster on average. Quick attack. Every bit of damage matters. It takes 2 frames for the HP bar to go down 1, and then you have to be at pretty much full health for red. Or you generally end up healing to full, even though you only need to be at like 160 or 190. And then it takes 2 frames per hit point for it to go up. So on the Misty fight, you're gonna have 57% range on the Lapras, 47 or 57. So I can do what I did on the Dugong and just stomp it, go for the flinch. And that way, it'll just use Rain Dance. I'll risk, if I miss Iron Tail, taking any damage, but... Even though having a bad attack like this is kind of a pain and it's obviously slower, I do miss this about Gen 1 and to a lesser extent Gen 3 Sapphire Emerald, where you get not the best stats, but they're like runnable, like barely runnable, and you have to just figure out how to deal with them. Forces you to think on the fly, it tests your preparation for all situations, not just the ones where you get the best luck. Like, I had 3 DV attack on Totodile and it went fine, right? 3 DV attack on Entei hasn't lost me too much time so far, so run could still be fun. One time? Okay. With 4% to use Disable. do I go for Lapras?
Always go for Lapras.
.163 attack. Yeah, I'm going for it. Oh god, no, bad. Oh god, oh no. We are dead. Oh, we are so dead. Double miss. Excellent.
Why did you listen?
Well, at least we have the special to tank too, so we're gonna lose a minute probably, but we'll be fine. Kudos.
My
That's a
God.
high roll. The punish is real. 64% range, like, I can't not go for that. That's just bad luck. Actually checked the range in my notes to make sure it was good enough. I said it earlier, like, you can lose a lot of time if you start missing Iron Tails and Kanto. But, like, Lapras is one where you have to miss twice. If you miss just one, it's a little bit of time loss. If you miss one and then miss the range, it's a bit more, but still reasonable. But what happened there, 2 misses, and then I can't risk the 3rd one or I die. I have no revives. It's, you know, it was, what, 3 turns that I lost? But it was way more than, 6 seconds per turn like normal. So watching that HP bar go all the way down and all the way up. She's not stuck. But I actually could run out of 4 restores. That is impressive. Nope. YOLO! I love that pass. If we get that pass on Tom, we're gonna YOLO him too. If you hit the Iron Tail at 64% to kill. If you miss, 0. Alright, so we got Zap Cannon, so we can teach that to Raikou now. Oh, wait. Yes, Zap Cannon is, like, somewhat considerable. That's how bad Raikou is. Gen 2. Stick here. Well, what is the range on this Espeon now? Go with the spinner first. Wow. Wow. Well, punished for correct play.
It's all falling apart ever since Iron Tail.
What am I supposed to do against this guy? I don't think I need to Iron Tail Drill, or did I hit that? Four strengths. Should have more than that. Where am I supposed to go? Okay. I'm trying to think about strength PP. It's 1 short. Pretty sure I'm fine if I use Flamethrower. But I gotta get this Espeon. What is this range? 71%, or it might be 64 again? 13. Or no, it's higher because I am an extra level. It's like 80% then. Good. That wasn't really a risky strat. Like, people overestimate the value of the paired directions. It's actually more important to look at how long they've been facing a certain direction. So she had just, like, when I paused, she was facing left, and then, like, in the time that it took for the pause to come up, she spun down. So she had only been facing down for, like, 14 frames or something. That's a very favorable pass. And when you're on foot instead of on bike, you can only get such... Your odds are only going to be so good, because it takes you so long to move that tile. Yeah, I don't actually know what to do about PP here. I think I'm fine, just barely. I know if you hit one spinner, you're okay. If I hit Tom, I'm gonna have to like get the elixir or take a center. Tom is even worse than that spinner or the one I dodged earlier. Play a little safer, maybe. Good. Oh god. That was bad. Didn't, I was thinking about YOLOing the second pass, and then that hesitation cost me. Didn't react. But we got past him. So one spinner in Kanto is average, and it allows us to avoid getting an extra PP item or so.
You know what would help you make up some of that time loss from hitting that spinner?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yes! 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 I was denied my Dratini, I will not be denied my charge.
You were not well, okay, you were denied. Maybe if you want to see the Dratini fight, you should go back to this category.
No.
Get your free second place.
Second place.
This is Stomp. It's 60 for Electabuzz. I think I was gonna get that anyway because I hit the earlier spinner Kaylee. Electabuzz is a range if you're level 59 with this attack. But in any case, I'm normally using 4 strengths on this fight, but I'll just have to use 2. If I somehow miscounted my PP, I can just use Iron Tail on Jasmine. Jasmine's pokes are all pretty low level and harmless. Yeah, budgeting PP in Kanto is always like, seems like more trouble than it's worth because the optimal PP route depends on how many spinners you hit, and as I said, it's like more likely that you hit a spinner than not, so you can't discount the possibility, even if you are expecting to get good luck. It's so unlikely to have a run without any spinners. Like, this has been 2 spinners this run, and that's actually pretty lucky. Especially because my execution around spinners has not been particularly good. But the 2 spinners that hit me were on well-executed passes. So it is with Gen 2. Alright, now time for a neat little time save. Not actually a time save, it's just fun when I realized it. So since I turned the radio card to the Pokémon map much earlier, then it's already there and we don't have to scroll as far.
Neat.
Also, fun fact, if you tune to that channel, whatever, channel 20, for the Pokeflute music, and then back out too quickly, it won't actually wake up the Snorlax, because the code is checking for the music, it's not checking your Pokegear to see what channel you're on. And if you do it too fast, the music just doesn't play.
Fun fact, in the oldest of crystal routes, you would get the Master Ball from Elm and you would catch that Snorlax.
Oh, yeah.
And it's because the old school way of beating Red was very, 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 very bad.
Full health for Brock, so I'm not gonna die, but this can be very slow and force me to heal afterward if I miss Iron Tail. Or get crit by the Graveler or something. I think I'm good on flamethrowers, because I will exec on blue. Or wait, the Executor's gonna live Iron Tail, it's gonna use my attack, so we'll just forget about that. One flamethrower should still be fine. Alright. Iron Tail number 1. Don't. Okay. He has Surf, but moves like Spike Cannon and Fury Attack are bugs where they don't read the damage correctly, so 50% to use that. Minimal time loss there. I won't have to heal unless I miss on my Kabutops. And Iron Tail accuracy went down the tank. Went down the tube. But on average, it's ridiculous. You miss like 5 or 6 Iron Tails per run. Just something you gotta deal with. Yeah, Snorms, I don't get it. I like Entei's back sprite, and it's like instantly recognizable to me. Raikou's back sprite, I get, you know, my people complain about that.
His back sprite is ugly. I hate it.
Suicune's is really nice. Suicune is the event Pokemon in this game. Suicune might actually be fastest in gold if catching a legendary dog weren't a 5-minute detour. Suicune gets Surf right away. Icy Wind. Great move.
It also doesn't die. It's a very important thing.
I mean, Entei doesn't die either. Okay. Tricky movement. Oh my god.
Because of the delay between your mic audio for me being in the call and the video feed, I heard you mashing A right when you got above the Pokeball, and I was like, what the hell? Why is he getting that?
Wait, oh.
I was so confused. What is this? What are you doing?
So there's a rare candy here. And I don't know, because I've hit 2 spinners and like I have quite a bit of extra EXP to the point where if I got that candy, I might be able to. I don't know what level I'm gonna be for red. Don't remember it well enough. Normally you don't get 2 candies and hit 2 spinners on a good run, so it doesn't really matter that much. Whether you're faster than Espeon and take the time to get the candy, or slower and take the time to X speed. Okay, here we go. Easy. Hello, 4-second time save.
See, that makes up for some of the time lost. Huh? Huh?
That makes up for like 10% of the movement errors that I think this run. Okay. Use Rock Slide, please. Rock Slide. No. Okay.
There is a swimmer that spins that's outside of Blaine's gym if he did terrible movement and went all the way right instead. I would imagine that our young hero Exarion won't do that, though.
Speaking of major mistakes, I am gonna have to mute my mic for Mount Silver so that I don't sit there 30 minutes into Paper Guy's Coliseum run. Dude, I just golded Blaine by like 8 seconds.
Yeah!
Thank you.
He's a charge the best.
So yeah, 2 more fights to go, and I don't think I can have any issues. My health is high still. Unless I get some ridiculous crit hacks, I don't think I can die. So yeah, the rest of the run is just me not making a mistake. And that is one of the disappointing things about the Entei run, is that it doesn't have the most climactic ending for the viewers. The red fight can lose. You can lose 30 seconds to red. In fact, you usually do lose some time to thunders on red, because you have to set up an extra turn. Unless you have good speed, but yeah, you're... Oh, I do have to Iron Tail this season. But yeah, you're not gonna die to red. Like Thunder does less than half, so you won't be in kill range for a second Thunder. If the first one hits, and that's the big thing that gets you with the red fight. When you use for Alligator, is once he hits a Thunder, he's locked into it until he misses. Oh, I lost time on Janine with no dire hit. I must have gotten a same in my PB. So yeah, if you have any more questions for me, best to ask them now before I go off to Mount Silver, because I'll have them like muted. During that, Keys will still be on the line probably.
Yep. I'm gonna make as many obnoxious noises as I can to try and distract you.
But I'll be in chat, and then I'm commentating for Paper Guys Coliseum Run, so yeah, I'll be around for a while. Just not on the mic. I am using Entei. It's my favorite color. I actually have a hard time answering that because I like it depends. Purple, blue, red, black are all great colors. 2 X attacks. 3 X attacks. And Entei never has to X speed here because Alakazam's always faster than the Alakazam, whereas Totodile often isn't. So this guy right here, he does about 140 with Earthquake, and then he sandstorms when Earthquake can't kill most of the time. It's just absolutely brutal. I tried to just not buy any XX because it was faster, but this fight was just, I couldn't justify it. And sometimes it helps to like be able to Iron Tail other things. Like it saves time on Executor to Iron Tail it instead of Flamethrower. Sometimes it'll save PP, stock and strength PP that you need. Being able to Iron Tail gives you Alakazam. I don't have enough stomps to do this. As I mentioned before, we always get extreme speed here if our defense is lower than our special. Roughly, and it depends on the exact DB in your level, but as a general rule, if your defense is lower, you get extreme speed. If it's higher, then you get Flamethrower. I was gonna have to full restore for red anyway. Use 12 Iron Tails and can't tell. Wow.
Alright, I found a compilation of bonking in Gen 2. I'm gonna play it over my mic.
Too bad,
Good
I'm
luck.
gonna disconnect.
No!
So yeah, I'm gonna probably just go turn up my TV now and mute the mic, but like I said, I'll be around in chat and Keys can provide riveting commentary for the epic conclusion to this.
Oh, it's gonna be so boring because it's Entei.
I know, I tried, man.
Alright, time to submit every single one of the questions you want answered. Play the bonk compilation. I'm not gonna do that. That'd be mean. I actually like Exarion. You are correct. Janine is indeed Koga's daughter. In fact, in Fire Red Leaf Green, to the right of the Safari Zone, there's a girl NPC, and you talk to her, and it says, "My dad is the gym leader." So you actually get to see Janine before she becomes a gym leader. Why isn't the frog doing any runs? Because he's dead. Blyson Star's Desert Candy. Nah, I can't pick on. I can't pick on Shiru. Shiru picks on himself. Please. Well, you could either get a Poliwag for Whirlpool Waterfall, or if you don't get a Poliwag, then you teach Whirlpool to Croconaw, and then teach Waterfall to Dratini. Dratini also has Extreme Speed if you don't mess up the quiz. So I kept talking about Dratini because there's a strat where Lance's Dragonite lives on 1 hit point, knocks out your Entei, but has to recharge, so you send out Extreme Speed Dratini to clean up the fight. So good.
Am I back on?
Yes.
I did the YOLO movement.
Why?
And it worked.
You didn't even need to mute that. What the heck?
No, I bonked like twice for the YOLO movement.
Man, hearing your TV audio when I'm watching your feed. Total spoiler. I know you're fine. What a ripoff. Boo.
So yeah, we got the perfect red, which is like 40%. I mean, perfect would be I get flinches here, but... yeah, if he thunders, it's just like an extra turn to full restore. He's not likely to thunder again. Unless he crits the first one.
Unless your keys.
And then, if you have bad HP and bad special defense, then Blastoise can actually one-hit you with Surf, so it's really important to get the flinch. But like you need a really bad stats, and you could avoid it by getting like an extra rare candy. I think one of my PBs had bad enough stats, and it was like right on the border, so I wasn't positive I was gonna get Surf. Oh, is this gonna kill? Oh, excellent. Yeah, so I got the flinch and it was fine. A Rain Dance is only like 4.5 seconds slower than getting the flinch. He always Rain Dances if he can't kill the Surf. Oh, it was a really nice red fight. I'm actually losing time to PB because my menus were so slow, and I'm getting an extra level here. Time? Right? Yeah. right, we don't... I'm so used to the old...
Such confidence.
Yeah. No, it's supposed to be time, and then everybody claps. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. You did it. You stomped red. How boring.
I'm still used to checking in-game time. In
Might
this
as well check it now.
Yeah, I tied your PB.
No!
I don't know about RTA, though.
You didn't beat my PB RTA. This was the part where I yelled 316 over and over and was actually proud.
What is with that late timers?
Darn.
Whatever, that was a really lucky run, other than, like, Misty was garbage. Kinda sloppy, but... yeah, it's a fun route. You can see where it can get frustrating with Entei, location RNG, stats, Iron Tails in particular, because even with the best stats, that can always screw up your run. But I just think it's awesome that you can use a legendary dog. Or since I was a kid, I loved hunting for legendary dogs and using them. And, you know, the starters are fun, but it feels more like a speedrun. It feels more more rewarding to figure out the optimal way to catch Entei, and you know, it's different than gold. So I encourage people who are interested in Gen 2 to try this, and if you don't like it, there's plenty of reasons not to. Yeah, but there's still a lot of work to do in this route, I feel like, especially in dealing with bad stats. You could probably tell throughout the run that I was thinking on the fly about how to deal with it. The biggest help we could use is finding RNG manipulation for Entei and for early encounters.